Okay. Am I live? It says I'm live. Debatable if I am. Oh. Hold on. I want to hear. Am I live? It says I'm live. Okay, here we are. Sorry it's a little late. Nolan's in the chat. That's always nice to see. And yes. I'm glad I am here, finally. Ah, boy. I'm glad you can hear me. I'm glad everyone's here. Hello, Nattenbox64, Purple Goop, Sierra Mist, Nolan, of course, Cornbread, again, Classic Cameron, K Master, Nathaniel Voga, Catbot, B. Parker, Purple Goop, Jordan Salafalo. Yeah. Hello, Ryan Walterson. I usually have the things up, and I don't. Hold on. I want to. You know what? Fuck it. You're just gonna see my bookcase as it usually is. Hello. Welcome to Movie Crap Live. Oh, I didn't send the tweet out that I said I forgot last time, and I remembered it this time. There we go. Forgot last time. And Blood Tea is here. Yes. Wow. I'm so glad. I'm technically early. Not really. Sorry, just things were running late, and I was like sweating. I was like, all right, I can just say it's later. But first off, thank you all for being here. Thank you all very much for the support. Thank you for watching the cartoon this week. If you did, I really, really appreciate that. Also, sorry about last week. That did not go well. I feel bad about how that went down. Because I tweeted out there's going to be a stream, and then really quickly, within an hour or two, I deleted everything about that. It was like, there's no Movie Crap Live. So I'm sorry about that. My family was actually everyone was very sick. I got it a little. It's like foot and mouth disease. If you know what that is, it's actually really serious. And it just wasn't an appropriate time. In addition, that there was a barrage of oh, thank you, Austin, for watching it twice. Fireworks at like 11:30 that were super loud, and I was like, "There's a reason I don't do a stream the weekend before 4th of July. I forgot that there was a reason." I was like, "All right." I was like, "So let's remember that next time that I should not ever do a stream." Because it like went on for like 15 minutes. I was like, "Oh, like I just we would just be watching me look at you and hear like anyway." But I want to say I shouldn't have done it the way it does. I should have figured that out better. So anyway, my bad on that one. I don't think I can do a stream to make up this one just because of scheduling and stuff, but we'll figure it out. Trying to think, but yeah, it was crazy having the cartoon come out. Oh, there's something I wanted to get, like a flyer. I'll do it during the break. Never mind. I actually made a little flyer for Movie Crap for sorry, other 3-word thing, Film Rod video that I've been putting up as a kind of prototype sticker, because I'm going to make a sticker, and I wanted to see how that would work with a QR code and stuff. And I'm excited for it. If you're a Patreon person, you will get that in the mailing next time. You will get the prototype one, which is going to be different than the sticker, but it's just like a cool little thing that I've just been putting up to see if it works. I put it up in 5-6 places, and it seems like people are using the QR code. It's kind of cool. I'm kind of excited about that. But yeah, this week was cool. We got Beavis and Butthead done. Yeah, that was also why that was delayed, and the Joel thing was delayed because everyone was sick, and it was just, I was exhausted at the end of the day, so it took me forever to shoot things. So if you ever wonder, like, why are things delayed sometimes with me, it's often like not fun, cool read. I wish it was like I'm super high and stuff. Oh, well, there hasn't been a super chat yet, but should I unveil? I have this soda. I forgot. I have this energy drink. Let me make sure I can. Hold on, I gotta pull up the other thing. All right, so we see this is called Raptor. Yes, I have not drank it. It's a sparkling energy drink, and I actually did read the things here, because I've noticed when people get sodas that aren't a regular soda, they read like the stuff on it. It was like Coke could have like you will bleed out of your ass for like the next 70 years if you drink this specific Coke, and you never read the Coke. But I did like this. It says, "Well, do not consume more than 20.3 fluid ounces per day," and more than that. And this is 16.90, and I almost bought two because I wanted to, have another one because of super chats and stuff. And I realized it told me, don't do that. Basically, the product was like, you will die if you drink more than one of these. It says serve chilled. I bought it last week, so Raptor. Oh, Modelo Butterfly. Thank you. Okay, let's see. I don't know what this tastes like. It's supposed to be with tureen. Is that a good thing? Whoa, it smells like cotton candy. Oh my god, it tastes like cough medicine. Cheers to you. Who let the dogs out for discount? Wow, these are just getting me to. Cheers to you, discount viscount. Oh boy. Yeah, this is like cough syrup. Is it Raptor? Yeah, this is I found. So I'm trying to find different ones. I found I cannot find Jolt Soda anywhere. I found that interesting, and I don't think I can order it off Amazon for some reason. So Nathaniel Focus says, first movie crap I'm watching at 21 years old. I wish I could send you a beer or something. I don't know if you drink or even want to. Modelo Butterfly, you should try it since you made me do it. Send me a picture on Twitter or something. I will definitely retweet it. You should do it. But anyway, if you are inclined to drink Nathaniel Focus, I encourage you to, just for today, not to have a serious problem or anything. But cheers to you, Nathaniel Focus. Also, I wanted to add this. Well, it'll be a Nathaniel Focus secret later. He'll find out in the questions part. Whoa, that was intense. No wonder they say not to drink more. Also so there was a can one, but the bottle one has like Raptor. Oh, hold on, Raptor on the side here and stuff. So anyway, I'm trying to. Okay, so what I'm trying to do is find fun drinks that I can find. Different things at dollar stores and stuff. I noticed some don't. I'm sort of looking. I'm looking around basically. I'm like, so next week I have one that I can get from the grocery store, but I don't want to go into that so quickly. But Raptor, I've had my eye on. So, yeah. So if you want me to drink more Raptor and answer your questions for the super chats, there we go. All right, let's get into this stuff. Oh wait, was there? Hold on. Oh, Mario Brothers is a bad movie. I'm not watching it, Austin. You know what? I'll say this. Mario Brothers. Hold on. Cheers to you, Austin. Cheers to you. Mario Brothers is not necessarily a good movie. There's a reason I put it at the section we're talking about bad movies that are good. I put it there specifically because I think there are good elements to it. I think the design is very good. I think there's all sorts of stuff like that. But I don't. Yes, it's not like the script isn't good, but it is an interesting film at least. Maybe we talk about it too much because of the subject matter. That's probably true. Is there any other small talk? I feel like there's other things I wanted to say. Oh, I've been watching Ms. Marvel. I wanted to say that. I've been watching Ms. Marvel, and I really like that show. And I said on Twitter, like, is it trying to be a movie or like a comic book arc to be collected in a graphic novel or a paperback in Barnes & Noble? And it does feel more like an arc. I'm kind of wondering with Ms. Marvel and comic books and stuff, is like there's a lot of people who talk about comic book movies, and I don't think they like read comics. And sometimes when they do a comics thing, I notice their criticism is sort of weird. I don't know. I've noticed this since Age of Ultron, that it's like, that's fine if you're a fan of it. I'm not saying you can't be a fan or you're not a true fan or something like that. But it's just like, if you're going to like review it, maybe like read some comics. I don't fucking know. But it just, It's weird to me, but I do like it, and I've been watching it slowly with Sophie, which I approved her to watch it. So, I think it works for kids. Whoa, that was a raptor burp. But I like it. It's my favorite Marvel thing in a little bit. I think I like the Marvel stuff that are more show wise, that are more like a show, which is that and Loki, than the other stuff, which I didn't like as much. Anyway, before we get into, let's get into, hold on, I want to be able to see the chat. Nobody cares. Leave me alone, Google, trying to tell me about their new features. I'm not your boss. I don't care. Or your parents. Okay, so this and everything I do is supported by you, the fans, basically. I wanted to show off the books I used in the book thing. That's right. I did want to do that. Okay. Let's just do this part, and then we'll do the books. See, as you can tell, tonight, I wanted to show up because I actually have the books from that were in What Are Bad Movies. I'll show them off after this. Sorry. Back to this. This and everything I do is supported by you, the fans, either through super chats during the show, in which you can get me to drink amazing Raptor, or through Patreon. My Patreon, which is in the description, the link is in the description below. For only $1, you can get access to the Patreon feed, which will let you watch Film Route video 24 hours before everyone else. You also get exclusive content like my commentary series. You get to know what the vote totals are for the movie review vote, all sorts of stuff like that. I know for a fact, actually, there's going to be a movie review vote thing this week, 24 hours early for the Film Rod video song, which comes out on Wednesday for patrons, for everyone else Thursday. And then the following week, there is going to be commentary things because they are done and stuff. So that's cool. But it's a great way to support the show. You get postcards, more power in the movie review vote, everything like that. But you also let me be able to continue making content. And I just want to say I really appreciate it. I appreciate all the support I've gotten when I wasn't making as much stuff. And it helps me, be able to continue to make content. If I can make enough off these things for when I want to do about like 10 Film Rot videos for season 1. And then I would like to, actually get a tablet and stuff for that. And, as tight as things are for being in a family and stuff, if I can get something like that eventually, that would be cool. And it'll just help me be able to create stuff. And that's actually how I paid for this computer I'm streaming from today. So I want to thank everyone who does pledge or does do super chats and everything like that. And thank you for your support, and I really appreciate it if you're financially able to do so. If not, just giving a like on this video, or watching, or telling a friend, or subscribing always helps. Also, if you subscribe, if I suddenly do an instant premiere, do a premiere, or even do a stream like this, you will get a notification. I would say click on notifications as well. But even if you just watch and thumbs ups even if you just watch and thumbs up makes me nervous, that makes you nervous, doesn't make me nervous, then then thank you for watching in general. I really appreciate that. Also, the Discord. I have a Discord. It is run very well by Austin and Zane Powers. They actually made, I believe it was Austin, Zane Powers, you can chime in if I'm wrong about this, a little emoji of TV from Film Art Video, which is awesome. They did that. They asked me, and I sent them a picture, and they did it. So that was really cool. They also have movie nights. Austin was determined to do a movie night this week, despite the internet, all of the internet being gone in Canada or something on Friday, but he still did it. It's a great community. It's wonderful. There's all sorts of sections, like the novelty card channel. There's the Ask Jim channel, where you can ask me any question. I answer everything. So if you ever I want to ask him a question, but I'm not on the stream or can't do this or whatever, just go there. I will answer it. General, you can send a story if you want to make sure I talk about it during this or somewhere else. All sorts of cool stuff. So it's a really great community. They do a great job, and please check it out. Oh, it wasn't Austin. It was Zane Powers. What? It was. Oh, you didn't do that? I'm confused what Austin didn't do. Okay. Oh, you didn't get service till midnight. Oi. Oh. Well, he tried, everyone. I'm sorry. Never mind. I'm stupid, Austin. I thought, Jim doesn't know what's going on. All right. Sorry about that. But they do a great job regardless. Most of the time they have movie nights on Friday. Most of the time. Yeah, I'm stupid. Okay. It's been a long day. So the other things is check out, I have a TikTok. I'm sort of purposing older YouTube videos and putting them on my TikTok so you can watch the Chesapeake Bay Bridge time lapse I recently put on there, and environmental message, as well as clips of film art video. Instagram and Instagram Reels are doing the same thing, and follow me on Twitter for all sorts of cool updates. Those are all in the description. And now we have a super chat, and then we'll get to the books. Sorry. I hope this is going well. Nattenbach64 says, I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't messing with no... Won't say the words here for obvious reasons. Nice, Nattenbach. I like that. Cheers to you. Oh, there's a Cletus the Fetus emote on Discord too, a new one. I'm gonna check that out. Anyway, Discord is cool. Everyone should join. All right. There's a lot of monkey bone talk. I'm super confused why, but okay. So I wanted to show the two books I used. I think a cat needs to come out of a room. I will be right back. Okay. Sorry. All right. Buster was in a room, and now I need to get out. So I want to show off the two books I use because they're cool books, and I'm not always using books and going to read off them like I did in What Are Bad Movies, but I just thought I'd show it off. Oh, okay. Nathaniel Fogg asks, oh, that's interesting. Okay. So I just wanted to show them off. They're cool books. I want to just recommend them. I don't have Amazon affiliate links or anything because I couldn't get my shit together on that. But you should get them. They're cool. First is the Susan Sontag book, Notes on Camp. This is a cool book. It's like it's really thin. So if you're sitting there and you're like, I want to read a film book, but they're so, thick and everything. I read this whole thing. It's like 2 essays. One's Notes on Camp. The other is One Culture and New Sensibility. It's really cool. You learn a lot of stuff. It's a good theory book, and it's thin, and you can look smart. So that's cool. Also, you will take in stuff. I read it while I was doing that video. As well as, and this is sort of, I know I criticize the Medveds, but this is sort of a bad movie sort of Bible right here in terms of starting what we know as bad movies now. So if you are super into bad movies, I would highly recommend this shit. It is kind of essential. And I believe, isn't this where one of their books had, I guess they made 2 things out of their stuff. But anyway, I would say this, if you're into bad movies, I have this used, but I would recommend it, to be honest with you. It's cool. There's all sorts of, I forget why. Some of these are in here because I thought it'd be funny. Anyway. No, wait, it is in here. No, that's Jesus Christ Superstar. Anyway, you don't need to watch me go through those books. Let's get into actual movie news. Sorry. Okay. So, Genndy Tarkovsky. We have 2 big news from him. I forget if I talked about Primal last time or not, but the Primal trailer is so cool. Why not? It comes out on July 21st on Adult Swim and on HBO Max. I think it looks really amazing as it does. This is not last time. I think we thought it was season 2, but it's really half of season 1. And this is, I'm not sure if it's half of season 2 or whatever the fuck's going on there. But it's an amazing trailer, as Primal always is. I'm curious where it's going to leave off with that girl who was like speaking and everything. It doesn't seem like she's in it a lot based on the trailer, but we'll see about that. But the other thing, and I think the bigger news, is that Genndy Tarkovsky's going to be making an R-rated 2D animated film with Sony called Fixed. about a dog who knows he's getting neutered in the morning and what he does with his last night, basically before he gets neutered, and he has a true love and everything like that. Jordan Bouchard's here. I find this really interesting. A lot of people are like, I can't wait to see it on the big screen. I super doubt that is happening. Based on how Sony works, Sony is the one studio that doesn't have a streaming service. They just sell things off to other streamers because they're just like they basically are doing actually pretty good because they're not in debt making a streaming service. So that's sort of what they're doing. I can imagine Netflix taking that, or HBO Max, because they could just go, hey, HBO Max, you already sell Genndy stuff, you know how to do that, here's this movie, and maybe they're going to do that. Maybe that deal's already set up. We don't know. We actually don't know if that is true, or we don't know how it's getting released. So that's a moot point. However, that Sony is actually moving along with an original Genndy Tarkovsky film and not a Hotel Transylvania movie is pretty amazing in itself. And the fact they're getting into an R-rated animated thing is pretty cool as well. So I'm really curious how well this goes. I hope it continues in development. He seems pretty positive about it. Everything I've read seems like it is definitely moving forward. I think I'm curious where it goes. A lot of people are mentioning Crackle about Sony. Sony doesn't look. Crackle is sort of an afterthought for them. It's not a real. I mean, it's a real streaming service, but it's not like their headline streaming service the way a Paramount Plus is, or an HBO Max is, or a Disney Plus is for those respective companies. They don't have one of those. They haven't sunk $1 billion into it. I think they just throw their pocket change into a jar, and that's how they run Crackle. I mean, even for free streaming services, it's like after Pluto and Tubi and maybe the freebie thing for Amazon, which I've seen get a little bit of buzz going. Anyway, but Crackle, I mean, when was the last time, someone tell me, when was the last time you even used Crackle? Oh, that's right, Nanbox, thank you. They no longer own Crackle. Sony doesn't even own Crackle. They just put that money in the jar for something else. Maybe for lunch. Maybe they just pay for lunch at the end of the week. And then they just forgot to pay the Crackle bill. It's real to Paleo. It's real to me, Jim. It's real to me. Aw, poor Paleo. I would love that this becomes his Paleo's thing, that he's the only one who believes in Crackle. Like he's a hardcore Crackle fan. I also want to say this. I think Paleo should have made a video called The Paleo Diet, and it has nothing to do with the actual food that normal people eat Paleo. It's just like him eating Wendy's or something. I just think that would be funny. I've told him this before, I think. Anyway, sorry, Paleo. But I'm excited for the Genndy film, a 2D animated Genndy Tarkovsky adult film that he said it's going to be sweet, but also raunchy. I'm kind of curious about that. I think this could be really cool. But Primal, I'm excited to see that. I'm not sure how I'm going to label my reviews. I need to relabel them, I think. But I'm excited for it. I'm down for more Primal. I think that would be a great addition to this summer, honestly, and my viewing pleasure. I mean, I think both of the seasons, or whatever they are, made my top 10 list when I did those. I need to do another. Maybe I'll do one this year. Anyway, let's talk about the Minions meme of kids dressing up in suits to go see Minions. This, I don't necessarily think so. I think this was an actual thing. Obviously, there I've seen the pictures and the TikToks and everything. I'm not gonna act like it isn't. I don't know how much it had to do with the box office, because Illumination movies make a lot of money, in particular Despicable Me and Minions films. I think it helped. It definitely did better than Morbius because nobody went to that. The best Crackle is the one that goes on ice cream. Nice, Austin. Cheers to you. Thank you for the super chat. Let's open the Raptor. Roar. Well, at least I'll clear my sinuses. But I count money. Nice one. But I think it did make a difference to a certain degree. I think, but I don't know how much of a thing, because I think most people are going with families and stuff like that, and that's already a lot of money. Like, it's basically like, if I'm going to a movie that only appeals to me, I'm going to buy one ticket. But if, like, we're going to theaters, which I hope will happen soon, I'm probably going to buy like four tickets, and that's a, by and large, that's going to help, and especially like a Fourth of July weekend and so forth. So I always thought this would make over $100 million, but I think because it spread into a demo they weren't expecting, this was surprising. It is a thing that became a meme, and it's a fun meme of people going to the theater. If people were being rowdy and being rude, then like fuck those people, because it's a kids film. These little kids don't understand. I mean, if they're going at like 10 p.m. in my mind, that's like whatever, but like, don't be rude to people. A Nanbox64 says it's teens and college bros that dressed, not kids. I didn't hear of any kids, although it'd be cuter if kids do it, to be honest. Cheers to you, Nanbox64. I do find it interesting, but since there's no actual data, because I don't know if you know, that was one of the things about Movie Pass, was that they were trying to get actual good data, demographic data for movie tickets, which we actually still don't have, believe it or not. So I don't know what the breakdown of that whole thing really was. I'm curious about it, but I'm just happy that it was a thing like, hey, people are going to the movies in a group post COVID. That's good, and they had fun. I do agree with the thing that these were people who were kids when the first Despicable Me came out and Minions started, and they kind of came up with an excuse to all see it. And I agree, a lot of critics are saying, hey, like, if I could see Toy Story 2 and not be a fucking dork at school, you know, and everyone dressed up as a cowboy, they would back in the 90s. So I get the sentiment, because there's a lot of people who see kids move. I think I talked about Hunchback recently, and I remember seeing when that came out, and there was a kid who like would make fun of me and brought their little sibling and was like, "You're fucking weird," and then afterwards was like, "I don't know, I think it I think it I think it was pretty good, but you're still weird," basically. Anyway, hold on, we have two super chat. Okay, Nathaniel Focus said, "I was in my pantsuit when seeing Minions on July 4th. Cheers to you." Okay. What's a pantsuit? Oh, your pan cosplay. Okay, I see what you did there. If I ever get to see you at a con again, I'm going to call it a pantsuit. I won't remember this, but in my mind, I'm going to do this. TuneJ723 says, there is data. Teens 13 to 17 were the paltry audience at 34%. I would think it'd be lower than that. I would think it would be lower than that, personally. That's my estimation. They were the highest percentage group. Huh, interesting. But cheers to you, TuneJ723. Either way, unless they were rude to people, which I am not for, because, hey, people work hard and they don't want to be like fucking, it's like, you don't want to be rude to people when seeing a movie. That's just not cool. But I guarantee you, 2 years from now, they don't fucking be like, "Where do my pantsuit, Jim? You don't remember this?" Yeah, I just think it's probably, I don't have much, there's not much to say. It's like, teens did this. That's weird. I wonder if they'll do it past this weekend, or it's just a first thing. I don't know. We'll see, but I'm glad it happened. I thought that was I'm not a big Minions person. I'm not a Minions guy, but I am going to review it. We'll see. All right. No, poultry was the right word. Plurality. Sorry. Okay. Next up, the rise of TMNT. Trailer came out for the Netflix movie, which looks really cool. The only thing, my daughter and I watched that show. It looks like a cool kind of conclusion to the show. We're hyped. I noticed it's back on, Rise is back on Netflix, or part of it. I didn't check how much. But It looks really cool. It looks beautiful. It's still, I think, the best animated Ninja Turtles of all time. Uh, I did notice hearing from people who weren't as aware of the newer show that they felt that they're a little confused. Like, what do you mean the turtles have powers? What's going on here? So I'm curious if it being on Netflix, which is such, I know a lot of people are saying they're canceling their service or there's not enough to watch and stuff like that. But it's still like 200 million subscribers. So most people just are keeping their Netflix despite what everyone's saying. But it, I think I actually heard recently it was like more people canceled for cuties than the Dave Chappelle thing, which is interesting to find out. But uh, I'm curious if there's going to be confusion, but I'm hoping that more people just check out Rise of TMNT because it's a great fucking show. I hope that helps it a bit. But it's a cool trailer. I don't think there's much to say about it other than I think that show is great and I'm excited for it. And I'm excited to watch with my daughter and review it and all that stuff. So that'll be cool. That's true. The Sea Beast came out. I haven't heard much about the Sea Beast at all. Because I heard they were promoting it. I was like, it's out? I didn't. Anyway. So the next thing is the Clerks 3 trailer. So I have to say the thing about this trailer, a lot of people have been, looking at Kevin Smith with Clerks 3 and going, oh yeah, he's doing the Jay and Silent Bob strike reboot thing and all that stuff, and that wasn't very good and all that stuff. But the thing is, oh, you haven't watched an entire show? I don't think how many people watch an entire show, Paleo, but I think you should check it out. Jax highly recommends it. I would keep watching it. The continuing story works, but you can just watch one at a time or whatever. Anyway, so Clerks 3. Here's my thing with Clerks 3. I think this Jay and Silent Bob reboot put a bad taste in everyone's mouth. Bad Kevin Smith joke intended, I guess. But I think this is a little different. If you didn't know, I think we've all known the plot synopsis, and I probably talked about it on here, but to clear it up, basically Dante and Randall are still working at the Quick Stop. I think they own it or something. And Randall has a heart attack or whatever, and then decides he wants to make a movie because he's always talking about movies and stuff like that. And you sort of see him sort of hit Randall actually making the original Clerks. The thing about that is this. A lot of people are like, oh, it's so obvious, it's meta. I don't think so. When I did my Kevin Smith series, my issue with Clerks 2, and this is just the vibe I'm getting from the trailer. I have not seen this movie. I am actually very curious about it. But I think the reason Jersey Girl was kind of this stop is because it's him talking about his life in various different ways. And Jersey Girl flopped. And when Jersey Girl flopped, he kind of stopped doing that, basically. He'd sort of do it in one way, he'd sort of do it in the other way. And I think Jay and Silent Bob Reboot isn't trying to be like one of those. It's trying to be like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, and much worse, and be about its own franchise. This, I think, he had a heart attack. He's often talked about like yoga hosers. He mainly did it to hang out with his daughter all summer, that he likes making movies with his friends. I kind of get the vibe that this is going to be jokey, dumb Kevin Smith. Like, he's gotten, like, I think worse as a director, to be honest with you. But I think there might be a lot more to this, so I don't really want to write it off. I think a lot of people are, like, looking at his modern stuff, but I have sort of a good feeling about this. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't seen it, but the trailer made me think, like, there's more to this than just him cashing in on, because like nobody asked for a Clerks 3, so part of me thinks he actually has something to say. I don't want a Mallrats 2 and the return of Chasing Amy and all that stuff, but I if he can like say something about how he feels about filmmaking now versus how he felt about filmmaking then and like tie it all together, I think that would be interesting, to be honest with you. I think there's room for it to be interesting. Whether it is or not, we will see. It was also interesting seeing across from the Quick Stop. I think before it was like nothing, basically. It was just like woods, and then when they're playing hockey, you can see there's like an apartment building, which is like Modern life right there. But it looks cool. I'm glad Dante and Randall are back. It was funny hearing. I think there was a clip of Randall or Jeff Anderson, I believe, at the at a convention saying like, I don't really like acting or doing this movie shit, which is funny because I think he tried to be a screenwriter, but anyway, he does cons, but apparently doesn't love it. But anyway, yeah, I'm curious about this movie. I think it could be. I think it could be kind of cool. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Sorry, I dropped something. Okay. All right. So next up, I might have an extra segment tonight. We'll see. I have an idea for a secret segment. We're also gonna do a review of Far, Far Away Idol. But there's a segment you're not really expecting that maybe if we have time, because there's not a ton of news. It's sort of a slow news week. I do have some news from last week, but I wanted to talk about the Duffer Brothers production company and the kind of franchisation of Stranger Things, but mostly about their production company, which is called the Upside Down, or it's kind of a Upside Down Pictures part of net. They call it a shingle. Yeah, they're basically like it's an independent thing, but they're very committed with Netflix, and there's a lot of things to talk about with it. So we'll go through it as it goes. The first thing that I think, guess what? Oh, Austin has a fun fact about Far Far Idol. I'm kind of curious. Oh, Daniel Vasquez. Before we get into this, last movie you remember seeing at. So what, Daniel Vasquez? I've noticed you have this thing. You were asking me to like recommend to Saber these places or something. I'm curious about your fascination with these theaters. But Daniel Vasquez says last movie you remember seeing at Towson Commons, York Ridge, and Timonium. Cheers to you, Daniel Vasquez. Towson Commons, I know it was knocked up. Which is unfortunate. That wasn't my favorite movie. York Ridge closed in like the late 90s, I think. I remember seeing South Park there. I remember seeing Phantom Menace when it got a re-release in the fall. That might be then. Timonium, if I'm getting these theaters right, I know I saw the original TMNT, the first TMNT there. I know I saw Sleepy Hollow there. I saw Mars Attacks and Hook. Those were earlier, but I think Sleepy Hollow might have been the last one there. I think Daniel Vasquez. I'm not sure. I do actually want to do videos on theaters I used to go to that are closed, and Towson Commons would be one, as well as Court Street, which still makes me sad. Although they refreshed the posters at that theater, and everyone in Brooklyn's confused. So maybe Court Street's not dead. But Towson Commons, I do want to do one on eventually. I hope that answers your question, Daniel Vasquez. But yeah, Towson Commons, I have so many memories of. Like, I saw Fight Club there. I didn't see Star Wars there because of The Senator, which is a great kind of Art Deco kind of theater in Baltimore. It's like the best. If you're ever in Baltimore, go to The Senator. It's like seeing a movie in the 30s if you can go to the main show place. Anyway, I'm sure that's not why you're here, but I answered Daniel Vasquez very well, so that's cool. Okay, so the Duffer Brothers thing, Upside Down Pictures, the first thing they're doing, and everyone in the chat, please don't start screaming bloody murder, but you can if you want to. So they're doing a live-action Death Note series. Yes, that's right, a Death Note series. Yep, that was the first thing they really were pushing. For some reason, that seems to be... it doesn't say... It seems like... It doesn't necessarily say it's on Netflix. But I don't... Part of me is like, hey, isn't it crazy they made a good Death Note series right after that movie? But another part of me is like... Why are you doing this? Like, I don't understand... Someone just wrote bloody murder in caps. I just don't get what they're doing with this. I don't know. Nattenbach says cricket noise. Cheers to you, Nattenbach 64. 2J723 says bloody murder. Okay, cheers to you. And cheers to you too, Jason. This is weird, Raptor. It's definitely keeping me awake, so that's good. I don't really get their motivation by it, and I think of the things they announced, it makes the least amount of sense, which is saying something compared to the other thing. The only original thing they announced is Jeffrey Adius and Will Matthews, who helped with Dark Crystal Age of Resistance. They have an original series. We don't know anything about that. That's the only thing that's not like based on something or is a horrible idea. And we don't know what it is, but that I'm actually the most curious about. I think they put this whole thing like we want to enable new creators and new ideas. Anyway, most of this stuff isn't that, but we do. One thing I'm curious what the one thing is. Stephen King, they're doing a series adaptation of Stephen King's The Talisman, which I think was that what he's reading to her at the end? Anyway, what's gonna happen if you run out of Raptor? I don't know. I guess I'll just cry. But the interesting about The Talisman, because they've been trying to make it, Spielberg's been trying to make it, will be crafted alongside Steven Spielberg's Amblin Entertainment, which is actually interesting because they are trying to do the Amblin style. So specifically, I find that interesting. I see a super chat there. I'm going to do that before I move on to other Stranger Things. Says, Will, there is Will. How's it going? Will says, the question is, would it still be bad or even worse than the Adam Wingard one? Either way, it's completely pointless. Glad that a Watiti Akira remake never happened. Same with, who was in discussions pretty heavily? Jordan Peele. Jordan Peele was in like serious discussions. He's admitted this in interviews. Cheers to you, Will. Nice to see you here. Let's open the Raptor. You can sort of see through this gray bottle. It's like, oh my god. Cord red. Jim crying on live stream. Not fake, not clickbait. And it'd be like, you ever see like Gamer from Mars's thumbnails and it's like someone and he like photoshops the red thing. Anyway, like they're sad. The other things, and I'll talk about one and then I'll talk about the other in a certain way. They're trying to do a aforementioned live action Stranger Things spin-off for Netflix, is specifically for Netflix. Not everything on here is for Netflix necessarily. I don't think, none of these were necessarily announced for Netflix except for this one thing. I think it's maybe their offices are just at Netflix, which happens, believe it or not. Spielberg's offices are at Universal. He doesn't really exclusively make Universal stuff. Even when he was running DreamWorks, they were at Universal. Figure that out. Oh man, I should oh, nice to see you, Melters. How much battery do I have? 31%. Let's should have plugged this in. I will do that during the break unless this it's a newer man. We'll be okay. But the one thing they want to do for the spinoff, they don't want to do it. They want to hand it off to someone else. Apparently, the only one who guessed it, according to the Duffer brothers, was noted Pizza Party fan Finn Wolfhard. Apparently did guess what it was. So ask him, I guess. And then they're planning to do a stage play, yes, of Stranger Things, and Stephen Daldry's involved. I am sort of against the stage play thing. But my thing about this is, it occurred to me that they actually have a Stranger Things experience here in New York. It was in Times Square and it's somewhere in Brooklyn. I have no clue where at this point. But the fact is they're trying to do more with Stranger Things, do attractions, things like that. I don't really understand how a stage play, hey Twisted Razor, is I don't understand how that would really work, to be honest with you. But I haven't seen it, but I think they will very much try to get it to work. So, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Am I forgetting something? No. But it's curious. They announced a bunch of stuff, but I kind of the original show I'm most excited for, The Talisman. Also, the spinoff, I don't know. I'm kind of wondering if they'll back away from the season 5 thing, or come up maybe just do a movie when they feel like it with 11 and stuff like that. I'm curious. Get ready, Newman, to do songs so that they say strange things are happening to me. Nice, Ryan. I like that. Yeah, it's interesting what's going on with them. I think someone in the chat was saying, reiterating or also saying it, I don't know, that I think they should direct an X-Men thing, but I think they really want to craft season 5, so I think they're going to be busy for a little bit, and they have their production company. Good for them. So I wanted to talk about some MCU stuff, and some of this is stuff I wanted to talk about from last week. One, and let's start this off, I had heard this rumor for a while, that the Russo brothers were in discussions with Marvel to come back and do the next big crossover movie, whether it's Secret Wars or whatever the fuck, we don't know. But I think I heard this on Slash Film, or it was the Ankler. I heard it on a podcast. I believe it was Slash Film. And they said the Russo brothers almost came back to the MCU, but the Scarlett Johansson lawsuit kind of ended negotiations. Now, a lot of people are like, oh, because they have some allegiance to her. I seriously doubt that is what it is. No offense to the Russo brothers. But I think they saw that they could just like get fucked over like that. Like she did get fucked over. They should have handled that better. And they are like, we'll just go to Netflix. We'll do what we want. I'm curious if that has something to do with like the quality or the name directors they have been able to get and negotiations and things like that since that happened. I don't know. Sam Raimi signed before this happened, so we'll see what goes on. But it's kind of sad that happened, and that like reporters are saying, like reporters who are good reporters have mentioned that there's something went down like vaguely in podcasts. But for someone to actually say it, makes me think that is what happened, which stinks. But it's also like percentages. Like this is why actually a lot of stars and directors now want to get paid up front, which has actually had this is kind of an extra thing that I've heard a while ago, and I don't know if I mentioned it on a stream before. But stars now, regardless if you're doing you're doing streaming or where your thing's ending up, they want to get paid up front because of Netflix. And Netflix has actually changed the finances, literally, of oh, okay. Thank you, Daniel Vasquez. I was wondering about that. Sorry. Um, I'm interested in old movie theaters too. That's why I'm going to make those videos. Sorry if I'm not mad or anything. I actually enjoyed the question, but I'm going to make a 1,000 comments video eventually. Um, but, yeah, so they will ask for money up front and not take a back end deal. And apparently that has made Blumhouse in particular, their budgets have gone up because of that, because they used to be able to get top talent and be like, here's a percentage. This thing's going to make like $60 million. It costs like 5. You're going to make some money. But because all these other revenue streams have dried up, people are just like, I just want my 10 million or my 5 million or whatever the fuck. So that has, yeah. Oh, I talked about that in the last movie crap in 20. Oh, that's interesting. But anyway, it's interesting. So speaking of all that, um, I guess, yeah, I'll do it this way. The Captain America movie that is going to star Anthony Mackie has chosen a director. The Julius Ona, I think. Here's my thing with this. He has 2 movies. One that was at Sundance and got a bunch of awards. And it's like this indie movie. I forget the name of it actually off the top of my head. I feel like this is something Will would know if he's still here. But his other studio movie was the Cloverfield Paradox. So, I can talk about the Namor leak. I forgot about that. Thank you, Austin. Um, uh, so the thing with this is, look, I understand he sort of redeemed himself, but the belief everyone keeps saying is, well, that Paradox doesn't count because it was a studio film and that can get out of control. And like, you know, his indie movies, who he really is. So that's why it's good he's doing a studio movie. Like, I'm so lost on how anyone thinks this is good news. From what I'm looking at right now, this is a bad idea. I don't understand why he was chosen, other than that Disney and Marvel can like make him do what they want because he's like sort of not a name whatsoever. I don't know why he didn't get like a name director, like I think to elevate this project, particularly like, to be honest, I know this might sound like an obvious choice, but someone who's worked in thrillers, does a lot of stuff about America. Anthony Mackie worked with before is Spike Lee. I don't know. Maybe it was offered to him, and he's like, I don't do that. Sorry. I also like the director who made all those Purge movies. I think he would have been good for this as well. I know they probably wanted a black director. I don't believe that the guy who directed the first couple Purge films is black. So I just don't know about this. I think it's a bad idea from the onset. I didn't see his indie film. Maybe it'll be different, but I do think I do think it's sort of a bad idea, especially someone who was bullied or manipulated by a studio. Maybe Disney was like, "Hey, let's get one of them guys who we can push around again," you know, and especially one who like the end result is the Cloverfield Paradox, which, despite an amazing marketing effort to get people to see it, is not a good movie. Nattenbox64 says, I believe the only notable ones that still take percentage back-end deals, from what I recall, are Tom Cruise and Chris Nolan. I believe you're right, and that definitely worked out for Tom Cruise this year, at least. Cheers to you, Nattenbox64. So I don't know about this director choice. I think it's kind of bad. No, I'm saying I know he is. I'm saying I was saying the guy who directed The Purge, the first Purge movies. Not the film that's called The First Purge, but the actual. Anyway, I'm just like not enthused with that director choice. I don't think it's great. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I was waiting for this Will tweet. Super chat. Sorry. Thank you for the super chat, Will. He said Julius Ona, I think, did Loose after Cloverfield Paradox, Star Vehicle thing. Good performances, but the movie's okay, lol. The MCU needs to dissipate. We don't need another Captain America. I'm not going to disagree with you on that. But yeah, okay. So if Will, see, I will put this. I wanted Will's opinion on this because he usually knows like more of the smaller movies that I never get to see, and more obscure stuff, and people should be talking about. And in the fact that he's not that he's like, it's just okay, is not the greatest thing in the world. I'll tell you that right now. But thank you for that, Will. Cheers to you. Sorry to put you on the spot or anything. I was like, I think he's seen it. I have a feeling. So, two more Marvel things. This is the Marvel segment, I guess. One is this is sort of a weird thing, but it's like something you can read into. And something I don't think is a prank and has yet to be confirmed as such. Howard Stern, during his show, he had a hot mic while ads were playing, and people could hear him talking about how during the summer he was going to do work on something, I guess during their break or something like that, and something about Doctor Doom. It was like you could hear it under other audio, so it's hard to make out. Hey, Hats Off Media. Hats off to you. Yeah, so they heard him talking about Doctor Doom and Jon Favreau, because Jon Favreau is a Howard Stern fan, everything like that. No one still knows, like, is Favreau going to do a Fantastic Four? Is he just producing? Is he directing it? Is he just steering the ship for a little bit? Maybe Favreau was like, I'll come back to the MCU to do Fantastic Four, because he probably has a sick deal with Disney anyway. No one's really sure. There's a lot of speculation, and it's basically audio playing under other audio, so I don't know. People are like, is he playing Doctor Doom? I seriously doubt that. But I mean, you could read this any way you can. It's like so misinterpretable, I guess. But the rumor on the street and the little we got from this is that there Favreau might be involved. Howard Stern might have a cameo, and Doctor Doom's probably in the Fantastic Four movie, if that is what it is. Okay. Oh, we got two super chats, and then we'll finish up with the Marvel stuff here. I believe we have another Will one. It says it's bizarre the trade-off studios are doing. Netflix has the Russos with the Gray Man, when in August Disney Plus is distributing the Ariel Schulman and Henry Jost's new film Secret Headquarters. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, studios are kind of doing that. Is interesting. Forgot about that. I'm curious about. I haven't looked up Secret Headquarters. I'm curious about. I'm going to look up that after the stream. Cheers to you all. Thank you very much for the super chats tonight. Thank you for the support as always, man. Daniel Vasquez says. Daniel Vasquez has his own timeline going at this theater thing. Although it's a good timeline, I enjoy it. This is the first time I got interested in your theaters. Is when Phantom Menace review, when you watched it at the Center a lot, and Timonium for the re-release. That's true. No, I am gonna do old theater things because I want to do Towson Commons and Court Street specifically. The Court Street one's gonna be epic because I have so much footage of that. I actually, you know, it's funny. I'll say this and then we'll move on. When I'm watching I watch a dead mall guy called Sal, who's from Baltimore, and I like his stuff. And I was thinking if I ever got to go back there before it closed, I wanted to like walk every floor and just shoot each floor and like compile it, and then it closed. Like, I'm not joking. I'm not just like saying that to say. I literally had this plan. And I was like, each time I'd go, I'd film a different floor, and then I'd have anyway. Cheers to you, Daniel Vasquez. You're making me very nostalgic and sad. Not what you're saying, just remembering all the good times. I have good times at theaters. I like theaters. I wish someone would do a dead theater thing. Is there a YouTube channel like that? I'm sure there is, and I haven't looked it up, and one of you will know. All right. So the last Marvel thing is Daredevil is coming to Disney Plus for Echo. I don't believe it's called... Everyone keeps saying it's Echo. Is it going to be Daredevil Echo? Is it going to be... I don't know. But it is currently filming in Atlanta. I keep seeing it just called Echo. I'm curious about the deal with this. I haven't watched any of the Daredevil stuff. I should have. You don't need to tell me. But I think I'm curious about that. But I have to say though, I think one of the things with that's made me cynical about the MCU is they'll have these cameos, and the cameos are just to hype up other things. And the Daredevil thing, as it's gone on, and we've seen what they're doing with it, that has made me feel a little empty, because it used to be cameos like, oh, it's this fun thing, and now it's like, oh, it's a weird like marketing stint. And it's just like, I don't know. All right. Okay, so the next thing, I think I blocked Naked HD. I'm not sure why they're so interested in me. I don't. Anyway. So let's do Tom Hanks and then So Tom Hanks says he doesn't really get the Lightyear thing either. They keep mentioning. I've noticed this. They keep mentioning for the people who made the. Like Tim Allen and Tom Hanks mentioned, like, oh, the people who worked on the original films aren't involved, and I don't like that. Like the simping for like, I get it, Lasseter's not there anymore, guys. It's like, okay, but they keep mentioning like they aren't the same people and stuff. Tom Hanks kind of also mentioned he thinks it's weird they didn't ask Tim Allen. It's like, guys, just like, what the fuck? Like, why are you being so weird about this movie? Like, I if I was Tim Allen, I would just said, hey, you know, it's not me. It's a different thing. You know, they're trying to do more with the lore. It's not necessarily me, so forth and so on. Instead, they're like taking this stance of like, oh well, they should have asked him out. I agree, he should have had a cameo, but it's just like it's so weird that like they're being kind of shitty about it in the press. I understand Tom Hanks was sort of being jokey, but I think it's just like, I don't know, guys, just like be cool. I don't really get, like, I don't think it's like the libs like taking our Toy Story away. It's like you knew this was coming. Like I'm sure they talked to you. Maybe they really left him in the dark, and if that's the case, they should have handled that better. I will take that stance on it, but I think they should have. The older guys should have handled it more gracefully, in my mind. To be honest with you, I think that I mean, I know Pete Docter and Anderson are still 2J723 brings that up, that those guys are still there, but I think they're more in the brain trust. I don't think they're in active talk with the actors and things like that, I would say. But I don't know. I think they, maybe they should have had Tim Allen be something in it, but it is sort of, I don't know. I'm curious. I haven't gotten to see that movie. At some point I will. But yeah, so we'll see. All right. So James Cameron kind of came out with an interview basically saying like it's going to be long, but people can pee during it and all that stuff. And also that he's not sure if he'll be directing Avatar 4 and 5, and he might have someone else to direct it. So, before I get to that, so I was thinking of who I would want to direct, but I will get to this back. Daniel Vasquez says, which theater do you think is worse and why? Timonium or York Ridge, and also what made the second worst slightly better than the worst you choose? Daniel Vasquez, I would say, I'm also like, I don't remember which one off the top. I think was Timonium. I think York Ridge was worse because the projector wouldn't work correctly. I think Timonium was good. So that's what I remember. Because when I saw they would get the frame off, and I remember during South Park, the frame would keep going out, and my dad would keep getting up to complain, but the movie was too good, so we'd never get the full way to the theater. Anyway, cheers to you, Gina Vasquez. If I have that right, I should check my ticket stubs on this, which is actually right. Anyway, we need to get to the news, but thank you for your interest in all that, Daniel Vasquez, and cheers to you again. So Avatar 4, he's just saying like, I've done, Avatar 2 and 3 are done if they are successful. By the way, there's all this kind of misreporting like he's allowed to make 4 movies. No, he's allowed to make 2 movies, and then if they do well, then Disney will make the other 2. He's saying he might not direct them, or maybe I will, who knows, kind of thing, is basically what he said. What I think, I was thinking like who should direct, and everyone's like, well, Peter Jackson, because they're all made in New Zealand and Weta is so involved and all that stuff, is what everyone says, which is like, okay, I guess. I actually think it should be Tim Miller, who we probably know more from Deadpool, but who did probably the closest interpretation of Cameron and kind of making it his own at the same time. If there's anyone who's going to take a Cameron strong franchise, I think it should be him, to be honest with you. Either him, Rodriguez was suggested, but I never saw Tim Miller, and I was like, Tim Miller should be doing it. I think that's my opinion. I think he would do great. I also would just go for Werner Herzog. That's always my choice. Is any studio thing, I think Werner Herzog should do it. I think Werner Herzog's Avatar 4 would be really good. I definitely, like 100%, I'm not joking about that. Werner Herzog's Avatar movie would be probably the most interesting one. I don't think anyone could disagree with me on that, right? It'd be pretty good. Anyway, we'll see what happens, but it sounds like Cameron sort of is like, nah, maybe I could do something else. But they also like haven't been approved yet, so I think maybe that's part of it. He's like, well, we'll see how it goes, and he sort of is like, he already thinks he knows how the reviews are going to be written, all this stuff, and like how people are going to dismiss it and everything like that. But to be honest with you, I think like most critics liked Avatar when it came out, so I think he'll be surprised by it. But I don't know. I'm excited. I'm a James Cameron fan from way back, so I'm curious, to be honest with you. But Will has another super chat here. I'm going to definitely need to get some my charger soon. Says, my cynical take on Lightyear thing. This is a very generous super chat. Thank you, Will. My cynical take about the Lightyear thing is pretty much a marketing ploy. Literally, what is Tim Allen doing these days? Just Disney bowling out of proportion what was a failure when domestically speaking it wasn't that bad. Or you didn't say bowling, you said blowing, didn't you? And I misread it. I don't think it's, I don't know if it's, oh, like they're trying to say like, oh, well, it was this all along. Maybe. I sort of think it's, they just didn't. Disney's, well, first off, cheers to you, well, thank you. We got to unleash the Raptor. Roar. I sort of think, to be honest with you, Disney has gotten bad at talent during the Chapek era, and this is kind of the reflection of what's happening with Disney. Like, Iger would not let this go. Iger would not let this happen, basically. He was famous for dealing with talent. Chapek is like, we're seeing a Hollywood that is not good at dealing with talent, and it's happening across the board. We're seeing it at Discovery Media. So that's why you're getting, like, why are people being so disrespectful? The old guard would call them and be like, hey, man, look, I'm sorry. We should have called you earlier. Here's a free pizza or whatever Hollywood people eat. And, you know, probably, like, a baby. I don't know. But they... sorry. But that should make me laugh, especially me. But that's kind of why you're seeing this. Is the two of the big companies have lost any real are not good at dealing with talent, which is why you see like so much talent going to fucking Paramount Plus. By the way, but anyway, Eisner was good. Thing is, like, you never heard people talking shit about Eisner talent wise. It was just All of Us and stuff like that. So, sorry, not plausible made me laugh. That was a good one. Okay, the Raptors made me goofy. They should advertise that on the Raptors. So capitalism was finally caught up to Hollywood talent, basically. All right. Cartoon Network unveiled their 30th anniversary logo, and everyone says that's going to mean big news. I don't know what the big news is. That's all yeah, anyway, that was it. Sorry. That whole thing made me laugh. All right. We have 3 more things, then it's trailers and stuff, and then a break. First, Quentin Tarantino welcomed a second kid, and it basically said Peppa Pig is like the best British export in like 10 years or something. I just take this as like a film nerd who's just watching kid stuff with his kid. Kind of statement. You end up watching kid shows, and when one's pretty good, you get like way too enthusiastic. People often complain that Bluey is like that. But yeah, it was a ridiculous statement, and I was just like, all right, Tarantino, I know exactly his thinking there, but it's like kind of boring. But you know, Peppa Pig is kind of funny. I'm glad he likes it. So this was kind of a bigger news. So there's a trailer. I am going to do trailers and stuff. This is separate from that. Is for the film Amsterdam. Now this is directed by David O. Russell. I think we talked about this maybe happening forever ago. And now it's been shot, and it has Christian Bale, John David Washington, and Margot Robbie. And I was a little surprised David O. Russell was getting a comeback, given that he's been canceled many times. In fact, before his last comeback, we all saw... no, Bluey is good, but that's the criticism, is parents overrated. I think Bluey is actually very good. Even their episode that is clearly a Midnight Gospel riff. And I also like that they did a Mystery Science Theater reference in the theater thing. Don't think I didn't notice. But basically that everyone was shocked that people would work with David O. Russell, because that I Heart Huckabee's clip, if you've seen it, of him yelling at Lily Tomlin, that was out before The Fighter happened, and that was considered his... Like, a lot of people have seen that. But his toxic attitude, how he's mean to Amy Adams, everything like that. Like her co-stars had to stick up for her, several things like that. And then what he did to his transgender niece, where he fondled her breasts and things like that. He sounds like a total piece of shit, and people were especially calling Margot Robbie out because she produced Promising Young Woman and has been like supportive of things like that. So, I thing with David O. Russell is, first off, he sounds like a terrible person. I'm a little surprised because his Amazon Prime thing basically got canceled, not just because of the Weinsteins, but also because of him. So then, I mean, I don't think you can fully get canceled fully. But then the other thing is, like, let's be honest here about David O. Russell. I don't think when he came back with The Fighter, which he is like a total piece of shit kind of person, because like The Fighter was a Mark Wahlberg kind of vehicle, and when he came back, he got he came back. Mark Wahlberg liked David O. Russell and helped bring him back. He brings him back, and then they're developing Silver Linings Playbook, and then he doesn't hire Mark Wahlberg. He casts Bradley Cooper instead, and Mark Wahlberg apparently was like, "Fuck this guy." But it's like so funny that like he's like, he literally, the guy who gave you whatever. It's just like so ridiculous. I think his best film is Three Kings. I like Flirting with Disaster. I like his '90s stuff. But I think his stuff when his comeback was not that great. He's trying to be Scorsese a lot of the times. It's like someone who like has a little bit of style making prestige stuff. So I don't know why Top Talent works with him. I know he gets a lot of Oscar nominations. It's just like he's not that good of a director to be putting yourself on the line for this kind of shit. It's like Terrence Malick, I get it. We're going to be talking about his films for years and years. But like, oh, I didn't know Lily Tomlin talked about the David O. Russell incident in a video with Kevin Nealon. I will actually try to watch that, Ryan Walterson. Thank you for that. But to me, it's just like, I don't get him, like, why he's such a thing as a director still. Because, like, Three Kings is, like, a big auteur thing. I don't think he's ever really followed up the ambition and as interesting of a film that is. Most of the films aren't that interesting. Silver Linings Playbook, like, just see, was it not Moonlight. Is it Moon? Not Moon Rush. Which, whatever. That movie with Cher in it that's really good. Moon something. It's just like, I'm not really happy about him continuing and it just feels like sort of boring, like a 2010s movie. Like, is this, we're still doing this awards thing? We can't move on from this? What was it? Moon. Damn it, it's not Moonlight. It's Moonshine something. Anyway. No, with Cher. It's going to bug me. It's not even a smart... The one where she said it with Nick Cage. Anyway, it's a good movie. In the 80s. It's just a ripoff of that. I'm messing this up. I just don't... Alright. Jennifer Lawrence was good in it, but... Anyway, what was that called? I'm gonna look it up. It's fucking boggling me, and I can't. Did someone guess it? I feel like everyone's making fun of me now because I can't. Share Moonstruck. That's it. If only Jim could see the comments. What? Wait, there are comments? What are the comments? I don't know. Oh, I guess I can't see the comments. Oh, well. All right. I haven't... Two things. One, Spectacular Spider-Man is on Netflix. If you haven't watched the show, it's the best animated Spider-Man show, bar none. It's great. Please watch it. And I don't know much about this, but I haven't watched the show, but Joe Perro's show on Adult Swim has been canceled. So I'm sorry for everyone with that. I don't have much to say about that. I'm sorry. Will, since Super said, still... to go through Russell's filmography, have only seen Joy, and it was the definition of fine. Not going to disagree with you there. Well, cheers to you. All right, so let's go through trailers and stuff. These are a bunch of trailers. They're all pretty cool. Then we'll get to Obits, and then a break. How you doing? Oof. Okay. I need to get the charger. This is an emergency situation. We're going to take a charger break and then I will do trailers and stuff. Hold on. Hello, everyone. Okay. Sorry about that. All right. Okay. So, trailers and stuff. This is a trailer I just randomly saw. It's called Smile. It's a creepy kind of horror thing. Looks like it could go either way, but I saw the trailer. If you see it, I also saw the trailer for Emily the Criminal, starring Audrey Plaza, kind of an tense indie thriller thing. That actually looks really cool. It looks like a cool performance from her. I'm curious what's gonna happen there. I also got a trailer for The Rehearsal, which stars Nathan. I forget how do you say his name now. From Nathan For You. It looks interesting about a man trying to basically rehearse his life. It's like a show on HBO Max. I'm curious about that one. We have Luck, which is the trailer for the full trailer about a woman who loses an amazing lucky penny is giving her all this luck. That's apparently the thing. It's the John Lasseter studio, so cool. The Hamster and Gretel trailer. It looks as fun as you'd expect it to. The premise being like a little girl, her brother, and a hamster are in a car together. Aliens come to give two of them superpowers, and the two of their superpowers are the little girl and the hamster. Looks like a lot of fun to me. The Woman King trailer with Viola Davis. That looks cool. It's basically about a woman kind of security kind of force in Africa fighting the British. Sounds like a good time. I don't know. That looks cool to me. And the See How They Run trailer. This looks like it could be either a fun murder mystery or one of those things that people who don't really see movies with that much violence in it completely overrate and over talk about, and it's like sort of quirky and not that good. Either way, maybe we'll see it. I don't know. Thoughts on the Ms. Marvel power change? Is there a super chat about that I missed or something? I kind of feel like no. Oh, I did miss one. Javier Portello. I'm sorry about that. Hold on. Cheers to you. Thoughts on the Ms. Marvel power change? Obviously you can't do the Inhuman thing, so I sort of get it. I like how it ties into her family and stuff like that. She does do the stretchy thing a little. I'm fine with it. I think it works with the plot, but it is radically different. I actually had to explain to my daughter who knows her. She has her other powers in the Spidey's Amazing Friends. So I'm fine with it because it works with the show and what the show's about. So I'm fine with it. I'm sorry about that. The sex naked HD fucked me up. So I'm very much apologize for missing that, Javier. That's not cool of me. So extra cheers to you. All right, so Obits. First off, we have James Caan passed away this past week. Probably one of the great actors of the 70s. He was in The Godfather. He was in Thief, which is a great Michael Mann thing, as well as he was in Elf, which I think is how most of you probably know him. Great versatile actor, great filmography that stretches many, many years, many different times and eras. And he's great as Sonny in The Godfather. He's great in Thief. He had a real nice, legendary career. And so sad to see him go. Also Misery. I keep forgetting Misery. As well as Tony Sakiro, I think, who played Polly Walnuts in The Sopranos. Sad to see him go. Thought he was a great actor. He does a great job in The Sopranos. I think it's sad to see him go as well. Apparently he served a little bit of time earlier in his life and decided to turn his life around and become an actor, and boy did he become one. I want to talk about, so the creator of Yu-Gi-Oh! Passed away. Kazuki Takashi, I think. I don't I don't really know Yu-Gi-Oh, and I don't want to sit here and lie to you, and that's why I didn't tweet about it. A couple of people did ask me. Um, I, I I don't want to portray something or like act like, I'll mention it on here, but I don't want to tweet something out and like people think I'm, I don't want to like pretend like I'm a Yu-Gi-Oh fan or something like that. I know Austin sent me. Oh, I had to close Discord because there's too many things running at once. Things about it, but I am sorry for everyone's loss on that, and I hope he, if you are a fan, I'm sorry for your loss right now, and I think it means a lot more to you guys than me as someone who never really watched it. But I hope you're all doing well, and I'm sorry for his family, basically. Okay, so I should go to the bathroom. We have until 12:45 because I started at 11:45. I'm going to do Far Far Away Idol. Then I'm going to do. I'll announce it because I'm going to do it, and then we'll do questions. But it's Far Far Away Idol, and then I came up with this yesterday when I was shaving. Basically, this is literally what happened about who, if I could pick directors who weren't George Lucas at the time to direct the prequels, who would they be? And I got kind of interested in that. So that's basically what I'm doing. I don't know if I'll put it out as a segment later. Maybe this will be a stupid ass idea, but I have the three directors for the three movies, and they're directors who could have worked at the time and so forth. So I hope you like that idea. It's literally something I came up with, but we'll see. So anyway, let's. Oh, it's 9:30 p.m. for Natbox 64. That's cool. Also, Javier, sorry again about that. That's not cool of me. I think I got everyone's super chats. If I ever don't, seriously, please call me out. That is not cool of me. But let me just use the bathroom real quick. Then we'll get to Far, Far Away Idol first. Thank you. I don't know why I'm doing this. It's not a symbol. I'm just trying to. Anyway, I was going to say okay for some reason. Raptor, need some water. You're a little too hardcore. I'll be right back. And yeah, I'll be right back. I'm gonna mute the mic so I can have the AC be on in this room, and I will be right back. Hello, hello. I believe I'm back. Hello. Okay. Sorry. Had to take out naked again. Hello everyone. Yes, I am back. Is Pizza Party dead now? I think we're just on a little bit of a break. To be honest, I need to message people and try to help get it back together. But from my understanding, everyone wants to. I think we're all busy. You have 3 different people working on 3 different cartoons at this point. Like, in all seriousness, between Izzy's 8-bit thing, Pan's Pilot, and my thing. So I honestly think a lot of it is we're all busy, but I don't think there's often talk on how to get it to be regular again and stuff like that. So that's all I'll really say, but I would like it to come back. I miss my buddies. So, we're in talks, basically. It's not something, if it was really over, I think we would try to do a real announcement thing. But to my understanding, right now, it is not over. To be clear on that, I've been wanting to clear that up. But let's get to these things so we can also do questions. I have a bunch of questions. Okay. So far away, hold on, sorry. Good. Okay. Far away idol. This, in some cases, is in the credits of Shrek 2, apparently. In other cases, it's a DVD game in Shrek. In other cases, it's a short film you can find on thing. But basically the premise is they're hanging out after the party that happens at the end of Shrek 2. And then they're hanging out and they're sort of singing. And then Simon Cowell shows up and they basically have American Idol with a few characters. That's the whole concept. I had not seen this before I'd heard about it. Everyone told me, well, but Far Away is Idol is really funny and all this stuff. So I was like, okay, I mean, I got to see this segment. I have to see this short and make it a segment on here, I guess. Because everyone, I'm doing a Shrek series, I got to do Far Away Idol. So basically, I didn't grow up with American Idol. I didn't really watch it that much. So it's not necessarily my thing. But I think the other thing with this is it is wildly inconsistent. And maybe that's how American Idol is. So maybe I'm like really talking out of turn. But what I mean by this is you have things like Puss in Boots, who is definitely Antonio Banderas singing, or Eddie Murphy singing. And then suddenly when Shrek and Fiona sing, it is clearly not Mike Myers and Cameron Diaz. Like, I guess they wouldn't do it. And then Simon Cowell sings at one point. It's clearly not him. And I'm sort of just sitting there like, what the fuck is this? The Larry King doing the Ugly Stepsister, that's transphobic, right? I mean, I'm not the transphobic police, but that doesn't age well. But I did like Puss in Boots doing My Boots Are Made for Walking. I thought it was cool. I liked Eddie Murphy's song. I like certain elements to it. I noticed like some of the shorts that come with Shrek at this time are just singing. But I don't know. So apparently I'm getting that there was a DVD game and Simon Cowell would sing if you vote for the wrong singer or something. I don't know. The DVD game element to it is something, because I don't have the Shrek 2 DVD. I just watched a short film version on YouTube. But I don't think it's that funny. I also don't get the Simon Cowell thing. Like he manages like not good artists. Like, have you ever heard like a song he produced? It's like really horrible. Like, why does everyone think this guy has like good opinions? I don't understand. It's not like, it was like Dr. Dre, I'd be interested, but like it's like this guy who produced a moment like this. Have you anyway? I did like Pinocchio doing Mr. Roboto. I do like elements of it. It can be sort of fun in a certain like DVD extra sort of way. I think it is more fun than the other Shrek short film that came on the first DVD. I just don't. I kind of don't think it is much more than like a thing of its time, because there's no real jokes in it that transcend that. It's basically about the singing. I don't think Simon Cowell's funny. I don't think he's interesting. You know, he's like the worst part of Scoob. He which I guess is his legacy to me. But I just don't. I think this is a thing of its time. And as someone who had no nostalgia for it, did not, did not watch American Idol. To me, it's kind of funny. All the things that I thought that I didn't like when I watched Shrek 2 before, or sort of barely watched it, and thought was like dated and lame. This, I think, was the dated lame thing, and the other things aged in a better way. This aged way worse. So I think if you grew up with it and have nostalgia for it, I think you'll watch it and go, oh, maybe I don't really know what I'm talking about and I should shut the fuck up, but I don't think it's like that funny. But I do like some of the singing. I like the characters singing when it's actually the characters, but like the fact that like Shrek and Fiona's part isn't great, and that the Simon Cowell thing isn't great. As a DVD menu game, those could be fun, but I just don't I just didn't really like it that much. As much as I actually Shrek 2 surprised me, this disappointed me. So I don't think it's actually worth as much as people seem to think it is. As much as like, I get that people are into American Idol and they're into Shrek, and there was a lot of those people at the time. But to me, I just don't see much rewatch value in Far Far Away Idol. Anyway, this is gonna make me sound like a jerk when this is a separate thing, but whatever. I'm telling. I don't understand what that means. I'm telling Gabe. Wait, what does that mean? I'm so lost. But anyway, I'm sure Ryan will explain that. So, before we do questions, I will. So, let's do this thing. So I had this idea, basically. So if you didn't know, I guess you didn't know, George Lucas directed all 3 Star Wars prequels. He originally did not want to do that, believe it or not. When he was making A Phantom Menace, Black Griffin? Really like Simon Cowell? Why? I don't get that. Anyway, yeah, the DVD game, my gaming channel of DVD games. That would be, everyone's looking for that one. To be honest, I would do it. I do want to do, anyway, I'll talk about that another time. I missed this fun fact. Okay. Oh, is it? Okay, actually, I'm sorry. So Mike Myers and Simon Cowell did team up again in 2008 for the American Idol finale, the Adam Lambert year, to promote the other hit film, The Love Guru. Yeah, it's funny? I actually saw him live do the Love Guru thing, and then I was like, I can't watch this shit. Black Griffin was on America's Dad. I didn't know that. I think I would know thing. I would call him. I think I would call him Gray Eagle, and he'd look at me like, "Why do you do that? Why is Saber friends with you?" I think a lot of people look at me that way. Anyway, sorry about. Moving on. All right. So anyway, if you didn't know, so George Lucas, who directed all 3 prequels, originally he didn't want to direct the prequels. He originally asked 2 directors to direct Phantom Menace, 2 different directors who both turned it down. Steven Spielberg, who has the honor of turning down a film in every single Star Wars trilogy. I'm serious. He couldn't do Return of the Jedi because he's a bitch and wouldn't break guild things. He wouldn't direct Force Awakens because he's like, I'm Steven Spielberg. Why do I need to do that? And then he wouldn't direct Phantom Menace because I guess he was probably working on AI and stuff. Ron Howard was also asked because Ron Howard was sort of considered George Lucas's protege, especially after Willow, and he turned it down. Everyone's like, George, you are the one who should do this. So let's say, William Elman's here. How's it going? Let's say he kept looking. Okay. And he didn't direct a Star Wars prequel. He was like, I'm just going to write them and plan them and make money off merchandise and shit, and let other people do it. So who would he ask, and who would be the best choice for each one? Now, this is a purely hypothetical thing. I do know that his director friends came and helped with storyboards and writing. This has been reported. This is not a rumor. People saw Spielberg and Coppola and De Palma and those guys looking at storyboards, helping with planning, particularly in the final one, um, and a little bit in Attack of the Clones, which makes sense if you think of how much more serious and different in tone they were. Supposedly they did help behind the scenes because they're a little worried about him. But that's what I've heard. That's what's been reported by people who were on set in various podcasts over time. But let's say, okay, so, oh, hello, Nina Garcia. So let's say you have the first one. Who would you get? I'm going to go with Joe Johnston, who would do Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, October Sky, Captain America First Avenger, The Rocketeer. He did special effects on the original Star Wars. He knows Lucas and that whole team. He's would go on to do Jurassic Park 3, which, depending on the success of Phantom Menace, he could do or not. I don't know. Be the only person to do both a Star Wars and a Jurassic Park, although Lucas actually worked a lot on the post on Jurassic Park because Spielberg had to go do Schindler's List. He sort of took over directing duties. That's a different thing. But I think he could make a better Phantom Menace. Like, if you think about it, if Ron Howard had done Phantom Menace, probably better. I think Joe Johnston would be perfect. So then we get to Attack of the Clones. Who would we do with Attack of the Clones? I don't think it should be Joe Johnston again. He's got to do Jurassic Park 3, which, of course, is the best Jurassic Park sequel. You don't need to at me because we all know it's the truth. Paleo's not here to back me up, but if he was, he would agree with me 100%, I hope. So who do you get? So Spielberg has turned down a lot of Star Wars movies. But let's be real. This is post 9/11 Spielberg, where he's all into conspiracies and shit like that. What's a better Star Wars movie with a conspiracy and one that could basically use a fine director who understands the prestige thing and could make a film that is probably was the worst Star Wars film until J.J. Abrams happened in that last one, but definitely the most boring Star Wars film. So let's get Steven Spielberg to do Attack of the Clones. I think Attack of the Clones has a lot of promise to it. When I rewatch it, there's certain aspects of it, particularly Obi-Wan plot, that sort of work. I think he could have gotten the romance part to work. I also think maybe Hayden Christensen would have been cast. Not to be an asshole on this, I don't really have much against him. And maybe the rumor that Ryan Philippe was really close, maybe he would have done it if it was a Steven Spielberg produced or directed Star Wars film. I don't know. We'll see. Did Joe Johnston work on Steven Universe? I've never heard that, but maybe, I don't know. But that's my pick for Attack of Clones would be Steven Spielberg. I know it's a basic choice, but if you really think about it, he could make it work. So we're down to episode 3. This is supposed to be the last kind of Star Wars film that George Lucas will ever significantly work on. So who do you get? Do you get George Lucas or do you get someone else? But here's what I'm thinking. It's like poetry, it rhymes and all that shit. You get someone who meant a lot to George Lucas, who meant a lot to his filmmaking career, who is a legendary film director, who's good at sagas and epics, and is able to, who needs a huge hit, and is able to do interesting things with special effects. I'm saying you get Francis Ford Coppola to do Revenge of the Sith. I think his Revenge of the Sith would be probably really interesting. It would be more interesting than the one we got. I think he could do an epic ending between two people with brothers because he's like fucking done that. I think people would be like shocked at how interesting and thought-provoking it is. If you look at his Dracula film, he's really good at using interesting special effects. And I think it could probably be one of the more interesting directed Star Wars films up there with The Last Jedi. So that's what I would have done if I could go back in a time machine and George Lucas was like, Jim gets to pick the directors and they will all say yes. I think the first two are the first one and the third one are the most likely. The second one, probably not. I went with people he knew because if you also look at the people he got to work on the prequels, he picked people who he had worked with before. He got people who had worked with him forever. So those were probably the most likely if he was to actually do it. But yeah. Anyway, that's what I was thinking. I don't know why I felt the need to think that and wanted to share it with you, but now you all know it. I hope that was interesting. If this comes out as an individual video later, remember I did. You'll be like, oh yeah, he did it. So there you go. All right, so let's get to questions. Before we do, so last week there were posts, this question is first because it deserves to be first. There were posts on Patreon, on YouTube, on Twitter, and the person who responded on Patreon I got a notification for an email was Nathaniel Foga. That stream didn't happen, but I want to answer his first because his got through. So Nathaniel Foga, I've been holding this for like a week because I saw it went through and I was like, next stream, I'm answering this fucking question. So he said, Nathaniel Foga, he has 2 questions, but only one for this week. So, but he deserves it because he got through, and I believe I need to do that. I should do more thought experiment things. Anyway, sorry about, you're right, the Westonator. All right, so Nathaniel Foga asks, do you ever intend to show episodes of ALF to your kids? As much as I love joking about ALF, I think it's like small wonder in that it was like a fun thing for me to do is like watch as a kid. Like I really enjoyed watching ALF as a kid. It was like a fun show, but I don't know if it like would hold up. If it was on or something, maybe, but I don't know if I necessarily would. But maybe if like they catch it and they show any interest or ALF comes back, possibly. So I like when Nathaniel like I wasn't expecting that. But yeah, okay. I like that I surprised you, Nathaniel Foga. All right, on your first one after being 21, cool. Nathaniel Foga also asks, do you think any of the other Kevin Smiths, blah blah blah? Okay, do you think any of the other Kevin Smith films could make interesting sequels? Part of me wants to say Clerks animated because I would like more of that, but another part of me would say Dogma, to be honest with you. I think Dogma probably is the one, and I don't think that could ever happen. So, unfortunate there. Okay. Austin back, if you remember this bit. Austin says, hey Jim, great show tonight. Wow, all that news. I didn't even know if they were making a Dark City 2. The guest spot from Scoob star Simon Cowell. You're truly living La Vida Loca. Anyway, saw Love and Thunder. I will love it. Might be my... saw Love and Thunder. I love it? Why does it say that? Anyway, might be my favorite Thor movie. But I wanted to talk about Ms. Marvel, the show, and your thoughts on it. What you've seen. What do you think of the acting, characters, overall plot of the show? I like how it has to do with family. I actually like how it has to do with history of Pakistan, or at least so far. I have noticed the comic had more Urdu in it, and the show doesn't really do that, which I find an interesting choice. I generally do like it. It is different. It's 100% very much a different thing. I'm also curious because my daughter and I read Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, which she's really into, and they're doing a cartoon of that. I'm curious how they're going to do that. I wish they hadn't leaned so heavily into the fucking Inhumans. Like, what the fuck, guys? But I think it's the most solid thing they've done in a little bit. Like, since I think No Way Home is a real solid thing. Like, most people can watch it and go, oh, that was a really good movie. And I think Ms. Marvel is probably that. And I think the reason it's building in such a way is Marvel has become so much the studio of anticipation based on, like, you know, oh, I can't believe they did this. I can't believe they did that, so forth and so on. Like, they got John Krasinski as Mr. Fantastic. They got all 3 Spider-Men, all of that shit. But Ms. Marvel is counter to that, but Ms. Marvel is essentially, you know, like a Spider-Man type story, so it's like almost the perfect, like, sort of Marvel thing. So anyway, I really like it. I think it's wonderful. I don't know if I'll do a review necessarily, but it's fun watching it with Sophie. I think she more likes the action parts than the family talking parts, but I think the show picks up in a way that she'll be into. Okay, let's see, what is the first? I think it was around here. Okay, I like Ace the Winner. I said, oh crap, I didn't realize there was a movie crap. Is ham better than bacon? No. Well, depends. Bacon can slow you down. So, Cornbread. Now that I'm no longer asking about a background character in a sci-fi movie, what am I supposed to do now? What's my life's mission? Find a different background character. Have you ever heard about, like, the sisters who didn't sign a release and were in Star Wars cards, and then they basically just asked for like a percentage because they were models and they'd have a different release, and that's why you never see them. I forget the sister's name. It's interesting. I might have mentioned it on here a long time ago, but Zane Powers, Jim, why did I see you wearing that I Stand with Ezra Miller shirt the other day? Look, I'm just saying his NFT ideas aren't so bad. ToonJ723. Question, Man of the House or I'll Be Home for Christmas? Wow. I don't know if I've seen... Maybe Man of the House? I think I've seen that. Wow. If I have, it's been a long time. I hope it helps with that. B. Parker. Bruce Parker, I guess? Question, before I pop out for sleep, when will anything connected to Shrek 5 ever come out? Will it take memes to get DreamWorks to put a trailer out? I think, well, Illumination is sort of running DreamWorks. I think we will see something eventually, but I think they were, since they're run by the same studio, I think they were very committed to like getting this Minions movie out. I would suspect in the next year or so we'll hear more. It sounds like they're redesigned Shrek and there's things going on, but we'll see what happens with that. But I do think it's sort of been delayed because they wanted to get Sing 2 and Minions out. Not plausible. Do either Top Gun movies appeal to you? I've seen the first one like once. I'm curious. I mean, I generally find Tom Cruise interesting. His movies are entertaining, and I want to see Top Gun Maverick. So I guess in a sense, but they're not necessarily like my shit the way everyone else is. I think is the best way to say it. Austin, have you ever been to the cafe called Russ and Daughter? Oh yeah, that place is great. I fucking love that place. Zane Powers, do you ever enjoy Simon Cowell more in Scoob or Shrek? I think he, you know what? Controversial. I think he might work a little better in Scoob, but I don't like him in anything, so that's not a high praise. Cornbread S, did you bring your lead Garfield mug to show us like you said you would 2 weeks ago? I didn't. I have two of them. Are they really lead paint? Because it seems like everyone was basing on 1979, and they clearly came out in the mid 80s. And I'm so confused on that whole thing. I haven't used them since that whole thing came out, though. I'm really nervous about it now. I really like those mugs, so I'm definitely fucked anyway at this point. So, Not in Box 64. Have you seen Moonfall? I haven't. From Roland Emmerich, it says. I have not seen Moonfall. I'm sort of curious. Jordan Bouchard, what are some of your favorite anime series from when you were younger and recently? I was watching Demon Slayer. I need to pick up that. I got to the part where God, fuck, I don't remember. But I was watching it on Netflix, and my point was I wanted to get to the point where I could see the movie that was such a big hit. I kind of wanted to, and I have fallen off a bunch of times. So that from when I was younger, though, I did watch Sailor Moon. I did watch Robotech. Robotech was a big one. Macross Plus was a big one. But maybe let's just say Cowboy Bebop. I don't know. Javier Portello. I said a bunch of things. I think the creator of Hannah Montana worked on Small Wonder. I didn't know that. That's interesting. That wasn't a question, I guess, but still. Zane Powers. What if Akira Kurosawa could have directed any of the prequel movies? How would that turn out? He probably. I mean, he was dead before Phantom Menace came out. So I guess the only one he could have theoretically done was Phantom Menace. Although he could have also done a good Attack of the Clones. I just think someone else should have done Attack of the Clones. Anytime I watch it, I'm like, there's a good movie in here. It's not this. It's fucking not this. What's the director you'd like to see tackle Star Wars from Nathaniel Foga? The guy who directed The Purge, Spike Lee. Maybe not those two, actually. I actually think Favreau. I don't get the Taika Waititi thing. I think Favreau, even though he sort of has, I think he could do a good movie. I guess that's not an interesting choice because he's already started doing Star Wars. I would also say I think Barry Jenkins has a good blockbuster in him. I don't know about this Lion King thing, but whatever. Yeah, I think those are the only ones I can think of off the top of my head. Will you this is from Embla T. Will you accept the revisionism that Thor: The Dark World is actually good? No. Fuck that. No. Have people been saying that? Is that how bad? Is that how bad fucking Love and Thunder is? That's disappointing if that's true. I haven't seen it yet, but not plausible. Are electric powered vehicles the future, or are Creech powered vehicles the future? Creech powered vehicles, of course. Thoughts on Rubik's Cube movie? Are we talking about? There wasn't there one with Christopher Reeves in it. I think I reviewed that forever ago. If it's that, then that movie is pretty cool. But anything else, I don't know. Why is Salty so afraid of Alf, Nathaniel? He's afraid of the truth. That's why. Ace the Wind Rider. Sorry for being so late. Really crappy day. I'm sorry, man. Most Muppet most likely to commit tax fraud. I would say Gonzo, and then Miss Piggy. I'm actually. What's Ryan Walterson's answer to that? I'm curious about that. Zane Powers. Worst instance you've seen of someone covering a celebrity death and they went, well, I don't know, or care about them very much, so who gives a shit, in such an ignorant, disrespectful way. I would actually say Wendy Williams when she covered, was it a guy on TikTok or something? It was like next level horrible how she did it. Jordan Bouchard, if we have time, would you recommend Duckman or Squirrel Boy? I just saw the creator passed away a month ago. I would say Duckman. To be honest with you. What the? Why are you? Okay. Austin. Oh, Paleo's here. Paleo, defend Jurassic Park 3 for me, please. Wait, where'd I go? Who was the boss? Oh man, now I'm lost. Okay, I think I'm back. Austin, since the Equalizer 3, since A Man on Fire with Denzel Washington Fanning, do you think Cletus the Fetus Man on Fire episode will have a reunion in honor? No, I don't think there'll be a Cletus the Fetus reunion anytime soon. Zane Powers, Jim, how can you like any actor or directors? They're all rich. That is a good point. Everyone's canceled for having money. Anyone who has more money than me is fucking canceled. Everyone knows that. Nathaniel Foga, do you ever get bagels from any local shops near you? Yes. I do. When is Brosnan versus Bruce Lee 2 happening? Austin. I don't know, soon I guess. That'd be cool. I need to do my Bruce Lee series at some point. I was thinking about it today. I need to organize that. Same Powers. Worst case of a mystery that has only two suspects, a suspicious jerk and a nice guy, and they want you to think it's the suspicious jerk. That's very specific. I can't think of. I'm sure there's a Law and Order SVU somewhere. I'm not sure. Question: Krusty Burger or the Krusty Krab? I'm gonna go with Krusty Burger. The Tonica sisters. Thank you, B. Parker. Were the Star Wars sisters talking about who like made him tried to like get? They didn't sign a release. I believe that's what it is. Medela Butterfly. Any recommendations from Tubi? I'm gonna say no because I haven't been on there in a little bit, so I'm sorry about that. Question: do you ever put any celebrities on pedestals and would white knight them in the past? Oh yeah, when I was younger, absolutely, totally. But I was younger, so you know. Did you see Harley Quinn season 3 trailer? I did. It looks really cool. I'm excited to see it again, or see new episodes of the show again. I love that show. I've been watching Batman the Animated Series. I watched the Greg Ghost episode, and I need to write some tweets about that. I have some thoughts about that actually. Cornbread, since you didn't talk about it during the news segment, thoughts on the anonymous statements coming out from Marvel VFX workers? I mean, I'm sure it's true that they're rushed and they don't have enough time. I think that's what it was. And Marvel, and they're not unionized, so Marvel's not treating them very well. I believe that that's what it was. If that's true, I'm not surprised, and Marvel should get their shit together. Zane Powers, do you keep your cats on chewing? How do you keep your cats from chewing on all your stuff? Not well. Ace Renner, who was the boss? I think it was Tony Danza, but maybe it was the mom. I don't know. Embla T, how did we went from cool the Shakespeare guy to Shane Black is directing a superhero movie to that indie director is selling out to a franchise? You know, money, I guess. Zane Powers, are there any wild horses left? I don't think there are. Nathaniel Foga, is there any universe out there? I think this might be the last question because I'm getting a little. Yeah, it's getting hot. Is there any universe where the Love Guru jumpstarted Mike Myers' career again? I guess there is somewhere. Nathaniel Foga. He said, "What was the last thing you ate at a movie theater?" Nathaniel Foga. Probably like a cheeseburger, I think, or something at Alamo, maybe. Can you put your Austin asks, can you put your King Ralph video on TikTok? Maybe. And let's do someone who I didn't answer. Let's do Toon J723. Favorite thing directed by Joel Wick, by Big Fat Greek Wedding, or 100 episodes of various Disney Channel shows. I'm going to say the Disney Channel shows thing. And yes. Oh, I missed the Naked HD thing. Damn. What is up with that guy? They keep coming up with various different. All right. Anyway. All right. So I should probably go. It's been a nice show, I think. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for the super chats. I think that sounds like Oscar is waking up a little. But thank you all for being here. Thank you for the past week. It's been an amazing week of stuff. I'm not sure if the next video will be Far, Far Away Idol or a Minions or Thor review. It might just be the segment, the song, and then a review, and then Movie Crap Live next week. But we'll see. It's been an exhausting few weeks. But I want to thank you all for being here. Hit the like button if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't. Thank you all very much. Thank you, Raptor. I'll take one last swing for you. See you later, alligator. Thank you all for the support. Thank you for watching. I hope you've liked everything. Sleep well, and I will see you all next time. All right. See you next week. Good night.